Doug Woolley, Managing Director of Dell Technologies South Africa. Great to see you again, Doug. I mean, this year is a very strange year. I mean, normally at this time of the year, you have your annual forum where you invite your customers and the whole Dell family to tell them what Dell's doing and how it's happening. But obviously, COVID-19 has been disrupted. But it's happening on the 25th of November. You guys are doing the Dell Technologies Forum differently this year. Doug, tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, Aki, unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic has had its impact, so we're going to do it in a virtual format. And I think it's got some benefits. It does allow people that typically weren't around, the Johannesburg area to also participate, and also for our customers in the SADC region. So, I think there is a silver lining at the end of the day when you look at a physical versus a virtual event. So hopefully more people can participate. And really just, tie into the topics that, fascinate them or are relevant to their types of businesses.
Oh, that's awesome, Doug. Doug, who are you encouraging to attend this year? I know you've kind of broadened it a little bit, but who would you like to attend this conference this year?
Look, I think it's, it's really open to all kinds of businesses. So, from our partner network, through to varied industries. If you look at some of the technology that we're going to talk around, like edge computing, that's very relevant for banking and the telco industry. Okay. If you look at things like, artificial intelligence and big data, that lends itself very much, again, to, potentially retailers and that consumer market. So I think, there's something there for everybody. And, I think people will find value, once they, we release the agenda and they register. So, I think it's really everybody pitch in and receive the value.
Yeah. Well, listen, Doug, I mean, you and I have been chatting about this digital transformation even before COVID-19 happened. COVID-19 has arrived and it's taken a lot of people by surprise. And I must say that in the Dell Tech Bytes series that we've been having and just talking to your customers, it's been amazing to see how relevant the information has been and how so many businesses and like individuals, anybody who's interested in this digital transformation journey that COVID has presented to us should really be attending this conference, because Correct. It really is going to highlight not only the things that you were talking about in March, but I'm sure Dell as an organization globally and even locally has even learned some stuff. And it's been amazing to see your team really implement the kind of stuff that you were talking about just a second ago. So some of the topics that you just touched on will be obviously the business continuity, scaling to the cloud. I love what you said about AI. Is there anything else that comes to mind? I know there are going to be tons of breakout sessions as well.
Yeah, look, I think, the exciting thing is we've got a pre-recorded message from our chairman and founder, Michael Dell, specific to the forum. So, that's always interesting listening to, what he's got to say and where he sees, the ICT industry move forward to. And it's very specific to our audience. We've also got our, sales leader for our global business, Angus Hegarty, that'll also be talking around some of, his insights. And, he was on a virtual tour in South Africa about 4 weeks ago and really found some insightful points that he, would probably share, especially around workforce transformation. South Africa is very much at the forefront of driving that revolution, which was quite insightful for him. We've also obviously going to, get a bit of a viewpoint from the box, as the tech sponsor.
You've got to do that.
Wouldn't we want to do that? So we've got Peter Steff du Toit, get to talk to him, Rugby World Player of the Year. And then also, a little bit of a business insight from the Springbok coach, and how Dell played a critical part in assisting the Boks, winning the World Cup, and the way that our technology played an impactful role. So, also some interesting dynamics outside of the normal, ICT, makeup. And then I think, very much some very topical discussions about future tech. Like I said, AI, machine learning, and how do we implement that in business? Edge, with the rollout of 5G imminent in South Africa, that's going to be a massive, play. Maybe not in the immediate, future, but definitely going to have an impact on our businesses, utilize that. So I think, Yeah, it's an action-packed day, with some call it entertainment from the box, and then very insightful speakers. And I think the other benefit we've got of having this virtual event is we can get the best speakers Dell has into this forum, which normally, if it was a physical event, would be a logistical nightmare. So I think you're going to hear from the best people that we can put in front of you to talk through some of these topics and really get into the depth of the subject
That's
that they'll be
amazing.
presenting.
So it's 25th of November, and I believe that it's completely free, Doug.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, a virtual event. Hopefully, we don't have to charge you for that. It really is free, and really utilize that. I think again, good speakers, good content. It's also going to be, as I said, I think unique in some of the speakers that we've got. So really, an event that I wouldn't want people to miss.
So Doug, so 25th of November, people can just go register online. I'm just trying to reimagine it, because last year I remember we did this event at the Sandton Convention Center, if I'm not mistaken, and we had that auditorium there, and then you had the breakout, well, not the breakout sessions, you had like all the demo places where people can physically go and check the technology and talk to people. But this time we're obviously going to do it virtually. There's still going to be that interactiveness, right? So if somebody comes to the forum and wants to chat to somebody from Dell about a specific technology that was just spoken about, you'll be able to do all of that stuff, right?
Correct. You'll still be able to interact through chat and various platforms that we've got. So you can ask the questions and people will respond either real time as the presentations are happening, or directly after it. So you will have that direct interface with people answering your questions or coming back to you at a later stage.
Geez, I'm loving it. I'm loving it, Doug. And I mean, what a platform. I mean, to get a guy like Michael Dell to come and talk, and I mean, the speakers that you've just described, and to offer this for free on the 25th of November, you're not only encouraging businesses, but anybody that wants to learn about IT, the latest trends, where it's going. And I mean, you and I have been talking about this for a long time. And I know that, like, for example, Project Apex, for example, IT as a service, these have been big talking points. I'm pretty sure you're going to be covering them at this year's Dell Technologies Forum.
So we will touch on them. These are projects that we're rolling out globally. So, South Africa will probably be at the back end of it, but we will be touching on, some of the future models that, that our organization is rolling out. Some of them are more relevant, like PC as a service today. We can, obviously do that out of the box in South Africa, but some of these might come down later in 2021. But we will be giving customers and partners a preview of some of those discussions. Yes.
But Doug, we keep talking about this year and how extraordinary it's been for all of us, right? And the amount of things that we learned. And every time I speak to you, I learn something new from you that you guys have discovered. And I mean, even now in the last week, people are talking about this vaccine that's been discovered. And when you talk to corporates, the reality is that we will never go back to the way things were in November of last year. And many companies, and I'm specifically talking about the banks and the telcos and these big organizations, have kind of figured out now that actually people want almost like a hybrid model. Even at Dell Technologies, you've spoken about this often. So this pandemic might simmer down, the vaccine might come, but we're not going to go back to where we were before. How do you see things playing out globally? Because this business continuity and people working from home, this is set to stay up, I get the sense.
Yeah, I think it is to stay. And I think, as I pointed out, our sales leader for our global business, Angus, picked this up and as a big trend in South Africa, where South African companies were driving, that type of change dramatically. And off the back of that, we also, giving feedback on our survey we do every year around digital transformation. So that will be also something that we will, give, the attendees insight into. And we'll also at the end of this year bring out a specific South African digital transformation index that'll be very pertinent for South African companies. So, that's, I think, also something that'll give companies a view of where they are in terms of the a digital cycle. So yeah, again, I think South Africans innovative. We drive change aggressively, and I think we made for this type of a revolution. So come and learn what is out there. What are the tips and tricks that we hear from some of these experts, and pitch up in your thousands.
Yes, and you don't have to wear any work
Corporate
gear.
wear.
You can just
No,
arrive in
that's
your
the other
shorts at
beauty.
your desk.
100%, and your flip flops.
Yeah, Doug, listen, I'm looking really forward to it. 25th of November, it's this year's Dell Technologies Forum in South Africa. It's happening virtually. It's for free. How do people, register? Because you've got to be registered to attend.
100% right.
What should you go through to register?
Very simple, Facebook or Twitter. The website address is too long to put out there, but very simple, at Dell Tech ZA. So
Yes.
DELLTECHZA. Click the link on either Facebook or Twitter, register, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I Googled it, Dell Technologies Forum, Johannesburg, and it came up. It's easy, very easy to register. And the great thing about it is it's absolutely free, and there's just great content. There's rich content, and it sounds this year is that you've got some fantastic speakers. So I'm really, really looking forward to it, Doug. So before I let you go, we often talk about rugby. We often talk about sport. What is the one thing from this year that, as a business person, that you can disperse to people watching this, that you've learned about, dealing with business, being under this kind of pressure? I don't know what it is. A lot of people are saying that they've learned to balance their time better. A lot of people are saying that they've learned to adapt and be a lot more agile in this business environment, where I guess we all have to be. What are the things that Doug has learned? Doug Woolley, the managing director of Dell Technologies South Africa. What is the thing that stands out for you the most throughout this pandemic?
So I think, for me personally, probably being flexible, and then at the back of that also to build structure into this flexibility, because, working from home, there's no separation between home and work anymore.
Yes.
So you have to give structure, and you also have to be flexible, because, all of a sudden your home environment is right in the office.
Right.
And, for people that have been in consulting, that's maybe easier. If you've been in an 8 to 5 type of environment, that gets a bit, taking used to. So that's probably been the two: structure and flexibility, which doesn't sound like they should fit together. But those are the two words that I would take out of 2020. And being patient as well. I think that's the other one.
I think it's excellent advice, Doug. I mean, you think the world was turned upside down, and in a short while, people kind of got that structure and, continued their businesses. And there's one thing about Dell is that you guys didn't panic. I think when people started panicking, you tend to make mistakes. The technology's there. You just got to apply it. You just got to follow the right structures, and it will settle down. And that's great advice. And I'm sure there'll be lots more from that at the Dell Technologies Forum South Africa, happening on the 25th of November. Registration is free. Doug Woolley, I'm looking forward to this forum. Thank you for your time, and good luck.
Thank you, Aki.